Every day, our lives are changed by history.
We are one people, all of us.
Leaders, politics.
Nobody's ambition is what they blood.
I have fought very firmly.
Natural occurrence, war.
Good evening and welcome. You're watching Atn Politics. Atn Politics is the network's flagship program that discusses core political trends with relevant political stakeholders. Today on Atn Politics, I will be discussing core issues from different political landscapes. I will take a look at topics such as in Enugu State, Governor Mba unveils 971 billion naira 2025 budget. And Labour Party commences grassroots mobilization tax reform. And on tax reform, Tinubu orders review of bill amidst controversy. And then we talk about Farouk Timi's arrest and assault on democratic liberties, says OB. These and more, we are open for adverts, placements, news and events coverage, personality, society and political interviews, products, service promotion and commercials. You can connect with us on all our ATN socials, Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1, Twitter, Atlantic TV Net. Watch us live on our website, www.atlanticnetwork.tv. We'll go on a short break. When we come back, we'll introduce a guest and delve straight into the discussion for today. Stay with us.
The world economy.
I belong to everybody and I belong to nobody.
ATN covers it all on ATN Politics today.
People into the country illegally. That is amazing.
Honorable
You human trafficker.
Honorable
You are a human trafficker.
They are not picking our calls. They made up their minds.
So no agreement with the EU, but
Every day, our lives are changed by history.
We are one people, all of us.
Leaders, politics.
Nobody's ambition is what they blood.
I have fought very firmly.
Natural occurrence, war, and the world economy.
I belong to everybody and I belong to nobody.
ATN covers it all on ATN Politics today.
Thanks for staying with us. You're watching ATN Politics. And joining me right today on ATN Politics is Dr. Omenazu Jackson, a political analyst. It's good to have you, Doctor.
Pleasure to be here.
Yeah, how are you doing, sir?
I'm cool.
All right. All right, and then let's move on to our stories for today. We begin with Enugu State. Governor Mba unveils 971 billion naira 2025 budget. Governor Peter Mba, the Enugu State governor, has unveiled a bold 971 billion naira budget for 2025, dubbed the budget of exponential growth and inclusive prosperity. The unprecedented financial plan not only sets a record in the state's history, but also positions Enugu as a model for strategic fiscal management and transformative development in Nigeria. Governor Mba's administration has achieved a remarkable 240% increase in internally generated revenue, IGR, within just 1 year. Enugu's IGR rose from 26 billion naira in 2022 and 37 billion naira. The administration's commitment to equipping the next generation with cutting-edge educational infrastructure. With 213.1 billion naira allocated to works in infrastructure, the 2025 budget includes ambitious projects such as constructing an international cargo terminal, acquiring 4 new aircrafts, and reopening the Akanu Ibiam International Airport. These developments aim to eliminate the need for Igbo traders to transit through Lagos or Abuja, fostering economic convenience and regional empowerment. All right, Dr. Omenazu, I mean, this is the development, Governor Mba, passing the 971 billion naira budget for 2025. I'd like to get your thoughts, particularly on the budget.
Yeah, I think, one, I will commend him for the increase in IGR. That means from what he has done so far, there were a lot of loopholes that have been plugged by the government of Mba. And again, looking at his budget and allocation to critical areas, you see, education and health was very, captured very well and given priority, which is what is needed right now in Nigeria. He equally touched agriculture, because to have a standing committee of responsible and respected citizens of that state, who he will saddle with the responsibility of M1E, Monitoring and Evaluation Committee, that reports directly to him, not to any commissioner, so that he can do a follow-up on his own. This M1E committee should be able to say, okay, Mr. Governor, this SYZ amount put here, we have done an evaluation, we can't find exactly that amount. Please, can you raise a question on this? Do you understand? There should be an independent committee reporting directly to him, so that he can monitor and evaluate the people's money, if they are getting the accurate and commensurate, benefit from their common resources.
Well, I quite agree with you. Borrowing from your words, the M&E Monitoring and Evaluation Committee. I would like to ask, is it that most of this evaluation committee has not been set as regards to other budgets that have been passed before now? Because we have similar budgets being passed, and could it be that there are no similar committees, just like you've mentioned, being set?
Yeah, maybe they have not seen. And most of the monitoring and evaluation is left for the commissioners in charge of those ministries.
Right.
Do you understand? And if you want to get it right, you must have a third eye. That's why the M1E committee is important here. You must have a third eye. Because the commissioner, in most cases, will want to defend the budget of his ministry to the letter. Do you understand? But the third eye can come and say, no, we budgeted SYZ billion for agriculture. From what we have seen, what is on ground is not commensurate to this particular amount. So what happened? These are committees that should work independently from any ministry, reporting directly to the chief executive of the state, which is the governor. Do you understand? In a very honest and dispassionate manner. That's why they should be people of proven integrity. You understand me? That cannot be swayed by anything done. This is what is on ground, and this is the budget, and yes, this commissioner did well, this one did not do well. The amount budgeted for social program, we did not see it there. You understand me? Sometimes, you know, you can still think about quality delivery. You can see a building that is being commissioned, but when what is to write home about, before the next 5 years, the building has started, you know, cracking and so on and so forth. Bad quality delivery. So the M1E committee should look in, because such committees should be made up of professionals who can do some level of evaluation and assessment, even if it is engineering university, not the one that you supply after 2 years. The whole thing will crash and government will come again and start repairing. So it will become expedient that there should be a third eye in evaluation and monitoring of government projects. You understand me? So that the people will get value for their money.
All right, he went further to say that this initiative is being executed in partnership with a particular company, developers like help to underscore the administration's commitment to equipping the next generation with cutting-edge educational infrastructure. I'd like to get your general view of this. Do you think
if
this aligns with your school of thought?
Exactly. There should be, you know, but this partnership too should be proven organizations.
All right. Not
government moguls. Because what we see in Nigeria is that some of the partnerships too, the government in power has interest. Do you understand me? They bring their friends and as partners to come and share government money, and at the end of the day, the people start crying wolf. You understand? We are talking about diligent service delivery to the people. The partnership is welcomed if they would deliver in accordance with the specifications of the government, in line with the vision of the governor. Do you understand? It is a welcome idea. No society can go it alone. Do you understand? Who will partner with you? But it should be transparent, it should be open, it should meet the demand. Because the target of every government is the citizens. You understand? Hence, the citizens are satisfied. The government should feel satisfied. A lot of satisfaction do the people derive from those projects. That should be the worry of any government.
All right, that we'll look forward to 2025. I hope this budget is being implemented, just like you said.
Sure.
All right, so we'll move on to the next story right now. A Labour Party has launched a comprehensive grassroots mobilization strategy to restructure its state directorates, address organizational challenges from the 2023 general election, and strengthen its framework ahead of the 2027 elections. As part of the initiative, the party will inaugurate state coordinators at its state secretariats across the country and a significant milestone in its political operations. Director General of the Labour Party Directorate of Mobilization and Integration, Marcel Ngogbehi, and the Deputy Director of Strategic Engagements for the Directorate, Sheikh outlined the party's plans to integrate new leadership and enhance collaboration with diverse grassroots groups. The statement also emphasized the importance of aligning state directorates with state party chairmen and creating a stronger link between the party structure and support networks. It reads, we are marshalling out what we call a tactical plan for 2027. A 3 to 6 months plan, and we're going to make it very easy and straightforward one. We will structure the directorate and look forward to bringing in more hands that will take care of capabilities we've seen that are not currently in the directorate. So bringing more people, we are going to set up the state's directorate. The state will now have to work closely with each of the Labour Party and the Labour Party State's National Working Committee. The state directorates will be that interface in the various states. And when that is done, we will now see and make some training and ensure that we're able to convene and then set up the Labour Party Convenance Council. The state's directorates will be an interface in which to now engage with other diverse groups and probably help recruit more members, help integrate more diverse groups. The Tailoring Association, Mechanic Association, Motoring Association, different associations. So for the state's directorates, we're going to set up a team, the state coordinator, their assistant state coordinator, the state secretary, and then one person representing his senatorial zones. This will come together to form the Labour Party State's Directorate of Mobilization and integrate. Here coming up, they want to form their own structures here right now. I'd like to get your take on this one as well.
You see, as a political scientist, when people talk about structure, it amuses me. The structure is to the people. When once the party convinces the electorate that, look, we can meet your demand, that's the structure. Nobody believes that Labour Party will pull the level of state they pull in 2023. You understand?
Yes, they didn't win. Yeah. To them due to the fact they say they do not have structures, yes, as it were. So I think they are coming out to...
There is need for them to re-gig
their
process in order to deepen the party structures at the state, national, and world level. Do you understand? AGA level and so. It's a welcome idea. You know, that means that the party is thinking ahead. Do you understand? But the truth remains that political parties in Nigeria should target the people. The people should be their target. So now to come and re-gig is welcome. So that they can now look at where their structures is weak and be able to activate, making it people's oriented. Because our bane in the country is the political class has lost touch with the people. They are representing themselves, not Nigerians. You understand? The ability for Nigerians to hold them responsible is no longer there. You understand? Inadvertently, they have weakened the people with hunger as a weapon.
Okay. So when you talk about convincing the people, I'd like to get really exactly your thought on this. Do you think that integrating people, groups rather, like the tailoring groups, mechanic association, motoring association, different associations, tallies, or aligns with the fact of convincing people about leadership?
Sure, because these are trade unions. These are trade groups. You understand me? And labor groups. They are a labor party. So they should work towards those who align with their thoughts. Do you understand? That's what I mean. And then you now look at it and say, okay, as a labor party, which is our target areas? It's the labor. Do you understand me? Artisans and so on. So you'll be able to convince them, look, if we win, we will make your business grow. You understand me? We bring down taxes for you so that you can be able to make more profit. Or we are going to equip you with this or that so that your business is closing. You understand? These things are mutual understanding. And you have to do that by getting to the people, the target audience, convince them, not cajole them. That's what I said. You need to convince them of your ability to deliver on those promises in line with your manifesto.
All right, so what action should be taken to make it feel like for them to convince these people? What do they need to really do?
Yeah, it's get to the people directly. Sit with them. Have a roundtable discussion with them.
Okay.
It's not about running on the road and using public address system. No. The structure they are putting in place.
Move on to the next story. President Bola Tinubu on Tuesday directed the Ministry of Justice to collaborate with the National Assembly to address the issues surrounding the controversial tax reform bills. The president, who is in South Africa, gave the directive for the review as some northern youths stormed the National Assembly in support of the bills. The bills are the Nigerian Tax Bill 2024, the Nigerian Tax Administration Bill, the Nigerian Revenue Service Establishment Bill, and the Joint Revenue Board Establishment Bill have generated hot debates and contention across the country, with northern governors and lawmakers opposed to their passage. Some critics had argued that the reforms could disrupt the balance of fiscal federalism, potentially centralizing tax authority and diminishing state revenues. Also, northern governors and some senators had expressed their reservations with the bills, noting that it will impoverish Nigerians. Hence, in order to calm frayed nerves, Tinubu directed the Federal Ministry of Justice and relevant officials who worked on the draft to collaborate with the National Assembly to address all genuine concerns before the bills were passed. The President's directive was contained in a statement signed by the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, titled, President Tinubu Committed to Accountability on Tax Bills. Directs Ministry of Justice to work with NAS on concerns. The minister said, in line with the established legislative procedure, the Federal General welcomes meaningful inputs that can address whatever gray areas there may be in the bill. In this vein, President Tinubu has already directed the Federal Ministry of Justice and relevant officials who worked on the draft to work closely with the National Assembly to ensure that all genuine concerns have been addressed before the bills are passed. Meanwhile, the President said there would be no need to withdraw the bill from the National Assembly amid the opposition that had trailed it. The minister further said the fiscal reforms would not impoverish any state or region of the country. Neither will they lead to the scrapping or weakening of any federal agencies. The federal government welcomed the nationwide debate on the bills, saying this is the very essence and meaning of democracy. Well, to begin on this quickly, I'd like to get your thoughts on the tax reform bills itself.
Yeah, the tax reform bills, to some certain extent, is good. But the timing is what we are talking about.
So when you say the tax reform bill is good,
to some extent,
get your perspective
yes,
on the areas that are good.
The tax reform bill will aggregate all taxes in the country. You understand me?
Sure.
Because right now, there are several tax heads in the country that is even stiffening businesses. If they can aggregate it into one basket, then the states will know which tax to collect, the local government will know which tax to collect, the federal government knows which tax to collect, and these things are statutory. Fine. That's the area I'm looking at. But having a pool of tax basket. Now, in the annually generated from beer. You understand me? And the distribution of it generated from beer is distributed all over the country. In collaboration with the state house assemblies, you know, non-state actors, religious bodies, you know, and so on. CSOs, community leaders. This is what the federal government wants to do. Bring smart experts that will dissect these things to them to the understanding, and then get feedback from their own response. The feedback analysis and mechanism will now guide the federal government to present the bill without much argument. This now that the bill has gone, they are kicking against it. Everybody knows how Nigerians behave. Before this bill will be passed, the controversy will continue. Maybe from now till April next year, this bill have not been passed.
Well, talking about kicking off the bills by the Northern Coalition, but we one of our guests on our show, Open Conversation, Azunda, made reference to when the law for Ruga was passed. We at the South, we kicked against it. And he said it's not, you know, it's not wrong for them to kick against the tax reform bills. I would like to get your opinion.
No.
It's as well.
Politics is about interest.
Yes.
So if their interest as regards tax reform bill is not protected, they have a right to kick. You understand me? Just like he mentioned Ruga. Ruga was passed, but you can't implement it here. We resisted it. I will continue to resist it. You understand me? Now we look at tax reform and tax, you know, heads and so on. We now, even here, that's why I say to some extent, even here, look at all the major IOCs demonstrate their headquarters in Lagos and pay taxes there. You understand me? And Lagos now have huge tax, you know, IGR revenue. Whereas the states where this oil is being drilled, give orders for it, are in Lagos. People who manage it are in Lagos. Their headquarters is in Lagos. They pay their tax there, including income tax. Their headquarters to the Niger Delta, where they operate, where they drill, where they make their income. Do you understand? This is should have been part of the tax net we are talking about.
Done this earlier, asking the National Assembly to go through these tax reform bills over and over again before even passing this, or even the FIRS, to engage the community, engage groups, engage people, the citizens about these bills before even passing it to the National Assembly. But do you think by this order, this bill would...
I said it earlier that with what is happening now, it will take between now and April, if care is not taken for this bill. The northern group, the young group that came to National Assembly to come and protest in favor of the bill. Some of them know nothing about the bill. These are all political gimmicks in order to whittle down the influence of the northern governors who are kicking. We understand. You understand? And then, this is where we talk about democracy for the people. The National Assembly members would have gone for town hall meetings in their various constituencies.
Is it the National Assembly that would have come to
the National Assembly meeting,
or the FIRS?
The FIRS. Federal Ministry of Information and National Orientation will do their own.
All right.
Members of the National Assembly we do go for their own constituent meetings, print copies, go to the nation, that we develop more. What is all this patriotic behaviors all about? I can tell you vividly, there's a solid mineral used that even the oil companies here use, barite. You understand me? It is heavily found in the northern part of Nigeria. They bring it here and crush it. They use it as a drilling fluid. You cannot drill without that substance. Do you understand me? So why don't they develop it? It's a solid mineral. It's not in this part of the country. It's there in the north, in large quantity. So the more hard you work, the more better for your people. Lousiness, waiting for them to bring oil money to Abuja for everybody to share, has really kept this country underdeveloped. I've never seen any nation that operates mono economy that survives. So anytime the oil price drops down, we begin to panic. So why don't we have other sources of revenue that are agreeable to the states and federal government? Why are we not exporting palm oil, which a barrel of it is almost 2 times the barrel of crude oil? You understand? Why are we not exporting palm kernel cakes? Why are we not exporting groundnut oil? What has happened to groundnut pyramid? Do you understand me? Why are we not using coal as a source of energy? This is a question. But here we flare gas. Why are we not converting those gases, to consumable gas? So this is a wasteful situation, country, and we need to look inward so that we can beef up our economy and develop like others. We are really backwards.
Of course, we need to look inward. Probably the tax reform bill could help.
Right, let's see.
Let's see. Then. All right, so let's move on to our last story for today. The police spokesperson in Ekiti, Sunday Abutu, told newsmen that operatives arrested Farotimi over a petition about alleged defamation and cyberbullying. Abutu said the command obtained a warrant of arrest against Farotimi regarding the case, adding that the activist is currently being transported from Lagos to Ekiti State. But the police spokesperson declined to name the complainant who wrote the petition against Farotimi. Abutu said he was arrested some hours ago based on petition that was written to the Commissioner of Police in Ekiti. The allegation is about defamation of character and cyberbullying. The command did not act out of place. We even got a court order, that is a warrant of arrest, in demanding for Mr. Farotimi's unconditionally release from illegal custody. I wish to state, without any fear of contradiction, that Lagos State is among the 2 states in Nigeria that have decriminalized defamation in its entirety. Reacting to Farotimi's arrest, Mr. Femi Falana, SAN, called for the unconditional release of the activist. Falana, in a statement, said, "I just confirmed that Mr. Dele Farotimi was arrested in Lagos yesterday for allegedly criminal libel." Also condemning Farotimi's arrest, the presidential candidate of the Labour Party in the 2023 elections, Mr. Peter Obi, described the arrest as misuse of police powers and an assault on democratic liberties. Obi, in a tweet on his X handle, said, "I just learned of the arrest of Dele Farotimi, a respected human rights lawyer and advocate, over an allegation of defamation. This action is a gross misuse of police powers and a grave assault on the principles of democracy and justice in Nigeria. I condemn this action in totality. It represents not only an attempt to intimidate opposing voices from questioning authority, it is also a worrying signal to every Nigerian who loves and values freedom of expression and dares to demand accountability and transparency. As a private citizen, former governor, and even today, I am frequently defamed, insulted, and lied about and against. Yet, I have never resorted to using the Nigerian police or filing reports to silence others. I hereby request that Dele Farotimi should be released immediately and unconditionally. The police must recognize that their allegiance is to the Constitution and the people of Nigeria, not to narrow interests at the behest of those in power. A new, more just and fair Nigeria is possible." Well, quite interesting. I begin to wonder what happens to human rights, to speak and all of that. And so many Nigerians have been questioning this, this development.
The truth is that we are almost turning Nigeria into a jungle where the strongest control and survive. It's a sad development. First and foremost, it is clear that Dele Farotimi was arrested in Lagos, where the laws of Lagos State do not recognize defamation as a crime.
Sure.
That's the first breach of the law by the police. Again, a citizen of that status, what stops you from calling him on phone and say there's a complaint against you, can you please report so day, instead of trailing him where he has gone to make a living as a lawyer and arrest him like a criminal? Went and harassed his workers and his colleagues in the office, ransacked his office. Did they commit treason? These things are a wrong approach to civil rights, Nigerians. And we stand to condemn it. Most of these things is going on because of the weakness of our constitutional order. I must say it without fear of favor.
And so when you say the weakness of our constitutional order, what do you mean?
What I mean is this. As long as I'm concerned, the 1999 and if you look at our constitutional order from 1958 till now, I can authoritatively say without fear of favor that if you open Nigerian constitution and say we the Nigerian people, it's a monumental fraud. Nigerians have never sat down one day and hinder the environment and give themselves a constitution. It is either it is colonial or military midwives. Do you understand? So hence I in particular, for over 25 years, I've been calling for a sovereign national conference. A conference, a sovereign national conference, a constitutional conference of the Nigerian people. Give ourselves a constitution, which we will abide by. You understand? If you look at what is going on in the country today, a court of the same coordinate will make an order in Port Harcourt. A court of same coordinate will give another different ruling in Lagos. A court of the same coordinate will give another different ruling in Sokoto. Do you understand? Another one will give the same ruling in the same subject matter, deriving their powers and interpretation from the same constitution. So there is constitutional crisis in the country already. So If we have a new constitution, a constitution of the people, the Police Act and everything, the laws will be there. Everybody will know that this is where we are going. This is the law of Federal Republic of Nigeria. Without a sovereign national conference, we will continue to see this kind of wanton abuse and the violation of the civil rights of Nigerians. Because the police, they've told you they have gone to court to obtain an order. When you were obtaining that order, is the respondent aware? That is no. You secretly went and obtained an order to arrest a citizen. Do you understand? There was no opportunity for him to say, okay, I did it, I didn't do it. You understand? You were not invited. He's not an armed robber. The allegation is libel, defamation. You understand me? And he remains innocent until proved guilty. So why arresting him in a gangster manner? And you call yourself a police. So these things are issues that borders on our constitutionality. That's where I'm going. The 1999 Constitution, if they like, let them amend it 200 times. It remains a receipt to anarchy, as long as I am concerned, because it doesn't reflect the yearnings of Nigerian people as of today, constitutionally. That's why you see that the attachment of Nigerians to Nigeria is very, very feeble. Let me use the word feeble. And very weak. Many do not even believe in this country, because the laws does not protect them.
Okay.
You understand?
All right.
The laws protect the house, and the have-nots is, vulnerable, and the vulnerability is derived from the same constitution.
All right. Thank you very much, Dr. Omenazu Jackson. It's been an exciting moment with you, and we hope to have you more on this session. I mean, there are quite a lot we needed to talk about, but because of time, we'll have to let it be here, and we hope to have you next time on our show.
Thank you very
where
much.
we discuss politics. Thank you so much,
Thank
and
you.
viewer.
My
This is
pleasure.
where we wrap it up on this episode of ATN Politics. Remember, we're open for adverts, placements, news and events coverage, personality, society and political interviews, products, service promotion, and commercials. You can connect with us on all our ATN socials, Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1, Twitter, Atlantic TV Net. Watch us live on our website, www.atlanticnetwork.tv. Peace and unity are the pathways to progress. Thank you for watching. I am Victor.
The country illegally.
Every day, our lives are changed by history.
We are one people, all of us.
Lead